That's Mount Rushmore in the background, blowing snow in the foreground, a sign of what's happening right now in northwestern South Dakota and what's likely headed in this direction. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. Stephanie is off. When we say this direction, it doesn't mean everyone will be impacted by what's likely going to be a dangerous storm system. Let's get to the expert on this. Hutch and the storm team have been following this all day. Hutch, how bad will it be and what area will be impacted?
Well, there's a few things that are taking shape now as we head into the overnight hours that we didn't have as far as pieces of the puzzle go earlier this evening. And that's the fact this storm is now starting to actually make its way over the Rockies and into the Black Hills, as you showed. And the snow is pushing through the southern half of South Dakota. Notice rain pushing into Pierre. For us, we have south winds. Things remain mild here. But overnight, now that we see where this storm is and the temperatures that it's creating with it, we have a better idea of the track of this storm. Again, it's going to be breezy from the south tonight. The snow develops overnight, and by the time you rise and shine, if you're anywhere south of Fargo, you will know that a storm is taking hold. A blizzard watch continues for southeast North Dakota and extreme west central Minnesota. This includes western Otter Tail and Grant counties, and it is a blizzard warning down in South Dakota and southwest Minnesota. Now, it does look like the timing of this is becoming better in detail. I'll go over the hour-by-hour forecast, but it does look like we're going to see snowfall in our viewing area between 1 and 4 inches with wind gusts that could exceed 50 miles per hour. I'll tell you who needs to worry the most and also when it clears up here in a moment.
All right, look forward to that. Thanks, Hutch. Did you see that big house slowly making its way down 52nd Avenue South today, including the entrance ramp onto I-29? It was an all-day job that's not over yet since the huge load only got a few miles. A flood diversion buyout home is on the move, and the haul is half the battle. Tomorrow, once the home reaches its destination, it's going to be pieced back together. Valley News Team's Christina Craig learned what's involved.
This is no small task. 4 moving companies, dozens of people, including police officers, electricians, and sign experts. And a truck with 23 axles capable of keeping this 200-ton home rolling.
It's quite the project to just get it moved.
Scott Adelman says he bought the house because he thought it was a deal. He says it's $1 million home. He paid $70,000. He's hauling the 4,500 square foot brick home from Fargo to Horace, and he knew there were bound to be challenges.
We had some traffic signals that we couldn't take down due to the wiring on them.
We will have to put the foundation underneath it and then piece it back together, which is a project, but majority of the houses obviously stays intact.
And after some brickwork, Adelman says it will be good as new. His business will pour the concrete and set the foundation.
This has been probably the hardest as far as permitting because we're going across the interstate bridge. DOT has to be involved, City of Fargo, Stanley Township, Horace. So as far as that goes, the permitting process has been the biggest part.
And then the house mover needs to coordinate with all the other contractors, the sign companies, the street light companies, power companies. We've got to get all coordinated so we can actually make it move on one day.
Once the home reaches its final destination, the timeline for completion is 5 weeks, and a crew of 15 will make that happen.
It just takes a week for the concrete to cure, and we will set it on the foundation.
Then it's hooking up the plumbing and electric before a new family can call this home sweet home. And if you're interested in this soon-to-be relocated 5-bedroom home, the price tag is expected to be around $700,000. In Fargo, Christina Craig, Valley News Live.
Crews will continue with the move tomorrow, the goal to reach the final destination in Horace. Luckily, this last haul requires mostly back roads, so traffic will not be greatly affected. Remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day. A bizarre story out of Valley City where a man told authorities he was robbed trying to buy an Xbox game from someone in the Elks parking lot. The victim found out about the Xbox game on a Facebook trade site. He told police when he and another man, Jeffrey Hoganson, went to make the deal, he was beaten by 2 men and forced to give the suspects his money. Hoganson and the victim then chased the would-be robbers and slammed their car several times with their car. As it stands, the suspect robbers, a male and female, are still on the loose and are expected to be charged with robbery. Hoganson, meanwhile, was arrested for DUI. A Grafton woman has posted bond tonight after allegedly locking up her girlfriend's four children in dog cages. 23-year-old Jordan Nelson faces 4 felony charges of abuse and neglect of a child and 4 charges of felonious restraint. The children are all under the age of 10 and say in court documents they were locked up with the lights off in the basement as punishment. Nelson is also accused of making the oldest child eat dog food. Court documents explain one child's experience saying he was put in the cage for not listening. Nelson's neighbors were shocked to hear about the charges.
No, and I've never heard anybody else complain about anything that she might be up to or anything. Everybody seems to get along good with her.
Nelson's his next court appearance is in April. If you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, here's some advice. Call our whistleblower hotline. The number's on your screen, 701-237-6576. Call that number and leave your tip. Work continues to resolve a space issue within the Clay County Jail as the usual money is the hurdle to clear. The current facility is full. It's the oldest jail in Minnesota, and officials say it's time for a new one. Clay County is looking at building a $40 million jail and law enforcement center. The jail would expand its current 66 inmate facility to 158. Officials say the jail hasn't met the Department of Corrections standards since the late 70s and has shut down some of their beds in the past. Their biggest issue now is having to transport inmates to other county jails, which costs $55 a day for each inmate.
Currently, Clay County ships out 2 times a week. We have transports twice a week, no matter what. Unfortunately, we've had so many inmates out in the last 6 months. It's going to be more like 3 times a week that we're shipping out.
No plans are set for construction, but the new facility could be good for up to 50 years. If you own any kind of trailer in the city of Fargo, you can no longer keep it parked on your grass. The Fargo City Commission passing an ordinance tonight that prevents people from leaving their trailer in the front yard after it received complaints about people leaving them on the lawn. Your other options are to park trailers in the back or the side yard and on a cement surface. This is an update to an existing ordinance in order to improve public and sanitary nuisances. In Minnesota, a bill that would allow school districts to factor teacher performance into layoff decisions moved forward at the state capitol in St. Paul. Currently, state law requires school districts to evaluate performance and to develop an evaluation system as part of negotiations with the teachers' unions. But another state statute dictates that seniority determines the order of layoffs when districts are forced to cut teaching staff.
If you can't keep all of your teachers, then let's make sure we're keeping our best teachers, and that your evaluation and your performance as a teacher should be part of that decision-making process.
The bill would also direct the Minnesota Board of Teaching to clearly lay out what teachers from other states and professionals from other fields must do to become licensed in Minnesota. Another bus could be working in downtown Fargo aimed at alleviating a growing parking problem. When you head downtown, finding a spot to park can be difficult. Fargo City Commission approved the operation of a bus that would run Monday through Saturday, costing $135,000. The bus would pick up people for free at the Moorhead Mall parking ramp, where you could leave your car for the day and head downtown every 15 minutes.
When you think about walk score, people they say 3 to 6 blocks is about as far as people will want to walk. Well, in our part of the world, when it's cold, 3 blocks is maybe about as much as they want to walk.
The Moorhead City Council will have to approve the use of the city's parking ramp. As if you needed a reason to watch The Voice, we have some local talent who's doing quite well. A Fargo man has advanced on The Voice. Mike Lear is his name. He was selected on Adam Levine's team. The 20-year-old sang Last Kiss tonight and wowed more than the crowd. Levine, who is the lead singer of Maroon 5, chose Lear, allowing him to advance in the singing competition. A child who has endured more than most do in a lifetime will be boarding a plane and heading to Disney World, all thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. A classroom at the Propsfield Center for Education celebrated their classmate, Ethan Renfro, who will get to meet Spider-Man and his other favorite Disney characters during spring break this year. Renfro has a disorder that affects his lungs, heart, and digestive system. He was born with the medical problem and has gone through many surgeries. Today, he received a Spider-Man backpack that was filled with goodies.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
Well, we've continued to keep our eyes on the changes that are heading our way, and our forecast that we've been talking about with the storm system really impacting the south holds true into the overnight hours. So when you rise and shine in Fargo and in Grand Forks, you're not going to have much to worry about. But our southern counties or anyone traveling either to the Twin Cities or into South Dakota definitely needs to take heed. Here's a look out at our tower sky cam today as we time-lapse the gorgeous sunset with increasing clouds this evening. It remains windy but quiet as we head into the late night hours. Temperatures are still very mild. We're talking about in the upper 20s right now. Thanks to all the winds, it feels like it's in the lower teens right now. Winds are gusting to 35 miles per hour, and they're still pulsing out of the south. That's drawing in the warmth. It's bringing in some additional moisture in the form of higher dew points in the air, and temperatures generally in the mid and upper 20s across the entire region. Wadena, Bemidji, you're in the lower 20s. Factor in the winds, and everybody has wind chills around that 10-degree mark. Here's a look at the storm system that is just now taking shape. Snow from the mountains of Colorado through the central Rockies of Wyoming and now the Black Hills. And look at this. Yep, warm enough for rain in central South Dakota and the Pierre area, but with the elevated terrain and the cooler conditions near the Black Hills, it's falling as snow. By the way, what we're seeing here in southern Minnesota, not actually reaching the ground from everything that we can tell so far, but we do have some heavy bands of snow making their way through the Black Hills, rain pushing into Pierre, and this is all moving in the general direction of our southern counties. Here is a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. Let's set things into motion real quickly here as we go through the overnight. We'll pause this at about, well, we've paused it at 3 to 4 in the morning. That is when the snow will spread into our southern counties, mainly along the North Dakota-South Dakota border into west central Minnesota. Where we see the dark blues and even the purples, we'll have some pretty heavy snow. Now, right now, the wind is about 20-25 miles per hour. It's out of the south, and that's likely the kind of wind we'll see with this snow as it makes its way in. So realistically, as we head towards daybreak, the snow will stay in our southernmost counties, southern Otter Tail County, eastern Otter Tail, Grant. It does look like the Wahpeton, Breckenridge area. Rothsay, you're going to be right on the cusp of this potential snowmaker. I do think you'll see some snow as you rise and shine. Down into the Traverse County area and Lake Traverse, you'll see some bands of moderate to heavy snow. The wind will not be cranked up yet and still be out of the south. Watch what happens as we go through mid-morning. This is when conditions will be at their worst. The gusty winds are back here in the James and Cheyenne River valleys, and as we go through the mid-morning hours, that will slide its way over the bands of fresh fallen snow through Lakes Country, southern Minnesota, and eastern South Dakota. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour, maybe even greater at times, will persist into the early afternoon. Then the isobars get farther apart. That indicates to us that the winds start decreasing in the afternoon from west to east. Jamestown at 4 in the afternoon, it's going to be brutally cold out there with wind chills below zero. You'll hardly have any snow to contend with, but a lot of wind and cold. Likewise for all of our counties to the north, maybe some passing flurries and blowing snow in the north. The blowing snow continues, though, through central Minnesota into the evening hours. So a rough and tumble travel day on Interstate 94 and south on 29, where we'll see anywhere from 1 to 5 inches of snow combined with the all-day-long gusty northwest winds. Here's that blizzard watch for Richland County, also down towards Sisseton and into the Traverse County area. Blizzard warning is in effect. Fargo-Moorhead and all the way out to Detroit Lakes, a winter weather advisory. Hour-by-hour style. Snow chances begin at about 3 o'clock in the morning. If we get any in Fargo-Moorhead, it'll be very light, a dusting. Then as we go through the day tomorrow, the northwest winds kick in and quite strong, gusting to 40 or 45 miles per hour. Temperatures will plummet after that. Planning forecast elsewhere, cold and windy in northeast North Dakota, 7 in Jamestown with cold and wind for you as well. Snow exiting, but the blowing snow continuing across most of Lakes Country and eastern South Dakota. If we could get the snow to come down like this beautiful shot here, taken in the Park Rapids area again by Tracy Hayes, well, that would be all right, but that's not what it's going to look like tomorrow. We do quiet down, albeit very cold on Wednesday. And then we right the ship. Mike, temperatures climb into the 30s and 40-degree range by the time we get to next week.
Be careful, then be warmer.
Indeed, and tune in the Valley Today tomorrow morning for the latest.
Thanks, Hutch. Later on Valley News Live 10 at 10, how you can make Girl Scout cookies at home. At least your kids can. Up next, unsettling numbers regarding teens, dating, and violence.